I noticed there is a lot of confusion regarding foldable homes in Australia, and I would like to clarify a few things. I'm a domestic builder in Australia for 15 years, and I'm registered in Queensland and Victoria. I'm currently working with a Chinese partner to bring one of the products in line with Australian standards. So if you plan to buy just something from Alibaba and you don't plan to go through proper legal process to make this building legally compliant in Australia, I would say just go ahead. Most of them would provide great value, so you don't pay much money and you get basic structure which sort of you can live in. However, if you do plan to make the structure legal in Australia, then there is many things which you need to be aware of it. So let's start from beginning. First of all, structure will need to be approved by Australian certified engineer for structural integrity. Then the building dimensions will need to comply with basic Australian construction standards. For example, the height of bedrooms cannot be less than 2,400 millimeters. Window openings in bedroom have to measure at least 10% of the floor area of the bedroom, and 50% of it have to be openable. If the building use is to be independent building, we'll need to comply with housing livability provisions, which means certain space area on the front of toilet, the width of the room from the entry to the bathroom through the bedrooms. They have to be no step higher than 5 millimeter from entry to pretty much everywhere inside the house. And there are a few other additional requirements for it. When will certifier or building surveyor, as they call them in Victoria, assess your building before issues certificate of final inspection or certificate of occupancy, he will ask for engineering, he will ask for plumber certificate, Australian plumber certificate, he will ask for Australian electrician certificate, he will ask for waterproofing certificate, which can be only, all of those certificates can be only issued by Australian registered practitioners. So there is quite a few Chinese companies who claim that their product comply with Australian 1A standards, and I can tell you that they actually genuinely believe that is so. However, their understanding of Australian standard and Australian building code is pretty much as they would like to be, rather than what it is. And I mean, they don't really bear any consequences of the thing, and nobody really try to scam you. They sort of really believe, and they read through Australian building code and sort of think that they get it, but they are really far from it when you dig deeper into the process of thinking and what it's going on and whatnot. So there are also few ways around it in terms of what you get. And your building can be also considered, rather than completely independent structure, could be considered as detached extension of your existing house. And in this case, all the livability requirements might not apply. However, all the electrical, plumbing, waterproofing, insulation, all those certificates would still be applicable and necessary to get final certificate of occupancy. And I want to highlight how problematic it is if they do bathroom in China and do waterproofing in China, and then somebody will need to certify this, and the thing would need to literally hold the water for 6.5, 7 years. So the bottom line is, if you buy something from Alibaba and you plan to get it legalized in Australia, it's going to be extremely difficult, and if you are not exactly in the industry, frustrating, costly, and on the end the cost benefit for what you thought is a bargain might actually not be quite there. There is a few companies in Australia who already cooperate with Chinese manufacturers, and they provide full supply and install and complete certification of the cabins, and they are doing amazing job. And whoever is considering getting there, I would suggest to go through one of those companies rather than try to get from something from Alibaba. However, as mentioned, if you don't plan to certify the things, then just go ahead. Your only problem might be a bit of condensation, depend of which climate area you are in. This can be mitigated with ventilation, with heat recuperation, which you can now get them quite cheaply from Alibaba as well. You just need to put one in each bedroom. They will draw a little bit of electricity, but that's still good compromise. I also notice few people ask about what sort of foundation is the best for those cabins. So if you do ask such a question, you should not attempt to do this job, would be my first opinion. I would, however, always recommend just standard old-fashioned drilled pier into the ground and fill up with the concrete. The reason why a lot of those cabins are in the backyards, where it's very likely that some services are running through the land, and if you drill through, you can actually hit it and see and rectify. If you do screw pile on some other footing system, you might compromise or damage existing underground services and not notice until it's way too late. So I'm not telling that those systems are bad. I'm just highlighting my preference for such a job. So I hope I answer some question which some of you might have, and feel free to reach out if you need any further advice. Have a good day.